Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon.
So welcome back to the Beards and the Bees. I'm your host, Aaron, your personal guide through backyard beekeeping. Behind the camera is the lovely Sammy. And so today we're going to be doing our week 9 inspection. Just to clear up a little thing, because people keep asking me, we went from week 6 inspection to week 8 inspection. Everybody's saying, where's that week 7? Well, we were gone on vacation at the time, so they went a whole week and a half before they even got back to them. So we had to bump over 7, and now we're on week 8, or now we're on week 9. We were on week 8, so let's go 9. And then, so today what we're looking for is the Italian hive has filled out. You could even see it in week 8. The Italian hive has filled out that top brood box. So I think today what we need to do is add a queen excluder and finally add a honey super. There's not a whole lot of new hives that can put a honey super on the first year without detrimenting their bees. However, I was lucky enough to pick up a couple hives that already had some drawn comb, and so for me, I'm going 3 brood boxes high. That's how my bee mentor does it. That's how several people around me do it, and that seems to yield some good results. So we're going to try that for our bees. So that being said, that 3rd box was already drawn out. So all they had to do was go up there and start plugging stuff in the holes, fix it a little bit, you know. And so yeah, that's where we're at. So we're gonna take the syrup off, queen excluder, honey super, frames, and then for the carniolans, we're just gonna check them because we only put a brood box on there. And that was a lot of drawn comb, but we wanna see what they're doing. So we'll check in on both of them today, but some real stuff is gonna be happening over here on the Italians for today. Stick around, because this is gonna be awesome. Let's go get it. Okay, so a quick side note before we get started is that we here at the Beards and the Bees are now selling a little bit of merchandise. So we came up with, or I should say the beautiful Sammy came up with these shirt ideas, and they seem to be getting a lot of attention everywhere we go. Usually when we go out, you're gonna figure out where all the beekeepers are at, because they usually come up to you and go, where'd you get those shirts? Well, we made them. So I said she made them. So we're gonna have these in our Etsy store, which we're gonna link down here below. So check those out, grab you some. They're gonna be pretty awesome. Mine says drone, obviously, because I'm a big guy. Hers says queen, and if you can see on little man, his says brood. Isn't that cute? See what we did there. All right, so check them out. Let us know what you want. We're gonna make them to order, and let's get at these bees. Ants.
We hate ants until we have an ant colony. Then we'll love ants.
Then we'll be
now,
anters. Is that a thing? Anters?
We hate
Anteers? Anteteers? They're not drinking much of this syrup.
So why don't you take it off, and then we won't have an ant problem.
No, they are, because we filled this up and now it's about halfway down. So we've only had it on there for what, 3 days. So they're drinking it. They're not as fast as my other bees.
So who would win in a fight, ants or bees?
Bees for sure. I have no idea.
What are these plastic ones? Because you had a plastic one in that one too, didn't you?
They're just frames. Just happen to be plastic. I don't prefer them. I don't really want them in there, but
There's frames that happen to be plastic. I see that they're a frame that happens to be plastic. That's not what I'm asking. Like, why are they plastic? Like, what's the difference is what I'm asking.
the difference is between wood and plastic. Idiot. I don't really like the frames. I don't think the bees really like the plastic frames, but it just happened to be what we had, so that's what we're dealing with. It's what we working with. Okay, so frame one, you can see this frame was all melted.
That's frame 2.
Okay, so frame 2. You can see this frame was all melted. And so what they're doing is they are all working on that to bring that back up level like it should be, like a normal comb. So they are on it.
So if you blow them, can you see that where the new comb is, or no?
No, not really. It must have just got on it because they're pretty fresh on it. The other ones, the Italians, you could definitely see that. But let's move some of these things. not a lot going on here. Nothing really yet here. This is that those starter strips I made out of the mediums. So they're on them, but they're not really doing anything with them.
Okay.
So let's move towards the middle. Now the way I did this is I went new frame, old frame, new frame, old frame, new frame, old frame. So let's see what they're doing with this. Okay, so this one has a lot more on it. And right now they're building this. Building this a little bit and they're filling it with syrup already. Okay, so excuse me. You can see right here, look. Old. And they're slowly building out that new. You can see right where they're grafting onto the new stuff.
That is so cool.
And pulling it out. So they will pull that out right into here and fill that frame up perfectly.
How amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome little builders. Don't you just love them so much?
I do.
Pull this one out. You can see it from the side. If you get like a side angle on it, they're just starting to draw this one out. Can you see that?
Okay.
So are they doing that on that side too?
Yeah.
So yeah, so slowly but surely. Now they're going to add to the bottom of this thing too. But they've only been on this for 3 days because our last inspection was 8 weeks and a half. So we're just checking up on them real quick, just to make sure that they're getting started. Pulling stuff down there. But yeah, mostly what they're doing is just filling this old comb right now because there's something to fill. So the builder bees are filling, they're building and they're also filling these with syrup, which is good for them. They're gonna need this syrup. This one doesn't really have anything on it yet. And I think that's gonna be the end of that because they're always gonna start, well not always, but typically they're gonna start in the center and work their way out.
Okay.
So yeah, there's nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing really there. There's just old comb there. It's okay. So that'll finish it up for these girls. We're not going to disturb them too much because they are hard at work and we don't want to be busting in the front door. So we're just going to close these girls back up and we will get a better look at them next week in the week 10 inspections. Okay, so Corneal ones are good. Check out on them next week. Well, let's get into these Italians and see what's going on. We're going to be adding some fun stuff here today. Wow, okay, so this is perfect timing. So they are completely out of feed.
Wow.
And so we are going to leave them.
How do you keep getting on top of that thing?
I don't know. I don't know how they get out here. There must be a little hole in the inside of this thing or something. But we are going to get them out of here because today we are going to be adding some honey supers. And so what we don't want to do is put the feed on there and then just store the honey supers up with sugar water. We want actual honey.
So you're not going to fill this back up?
So I'm not filling this back up and we're taking this away.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right? In our bee vlogging videos, Italians are some builders. Build, 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 build. And we may even get some honey the first year out of these Italians. Adding honey supers. If they fill it up, then we'll know. You hear them roaring in there?
Mm-hmm.
Look at all that they built underneath there.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So for right now, I'm going to set this over to the side.
Okay.
I bet you that queen is up here, and that's why they're freaking out so bad. Because whenever you get smoke on that queen, they are not happy. They will roar up. But look at all this propolis. You can chew that. good for your teeth.
Let's see you do it.
That's what the Egyptians used. You want to try it?
I do not. I thank you. I mean, like maybe later.
Let's try it first.
Someone's getting bit.
Run, Walt, run.
Poor guy.
It doesn't really taste like anything. It has a little bit of earthy taste. But supposedly, the Egyptians would use propolis for dental care. See, I don't think they like these. There's nothing on this side. But they're drawing out this side really well. And they're putting honey in it.
Wow.
This tastes like medicine. Isn't that weird?
Sorry. Wow.
So lots of syrup, which is good because this is what they're going to be pulling into winter with. So if these are all filled up, then everything in this brood box will be theirs for the winter. And plus that they can have the syrup. So they're going to be working on capping this thing, all these. Once again, just same thing we saw last time.
How's come they're drawing that out so far right there?
It was probably just a little bit close to that other frame.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wow. Look at all that honey.
yeah, all capped.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, really capped on that side, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Cannot wait to eat some honey.
right?
Even though it's just bee throw up.
Bee vomit.
My favorite.
Oh, look, we got some brood. Some larvae. And once again, a crap ton of honey.
Did you check the other side, babe?
What is on the other side?
A crap ton of honey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I say that these girls need them a honey super.
I say you're right. For once.
For once, we know I'm right all the time.
We know the wife is always right. Oh, they got some drone cells.
Yep, they got some drones. So this is one of the frames that they had put back together. You can see
Oh,
where,
wow, that's a ton of drone cells.
you can see where the black, where it cut off there,
Yeah.
and then they filled that in. So if these are strong enough, if the hive feels safe enough, they will start building more drone because they want to get their genes out there. So drones it is. Bees are very good at prioritizing what all needs to happen. So as a lot of people know, bees have different jobs for different ages. But say, okay, so like the older bees go out to forage. The oldest bees go out to forage, and the reason is because they've already used up their time in the hive. So if they're gonna get sacrificed out there, they're the perfect ones to get sacrificed. The nurse bees are about the middle-agers, and they do all the building and they'll nurse all the young and all that other fun stuff. And then the youngest bees they help tend brood, but they don't have wax building abilities yet, so they nurse. The fresh bees nurse. Whoa, check this one out, Sam.
Jesus. Is that like a full frame of honey?
Pretty much.
Wow. This side's not capped.
Yeah, this side, however,
Wow.
mostly capped.
That is pretty freaking awesome.
It's up a little bit on this frame. And I think it's because they drew this frame out a little bit further. They're not drawing this one out as far. See? Question is, what do we do with that?
Maybe it's a good question for your bee mentor.
Yeah.
Or just flip it.
I'm flipping. I'm going with the flip.
Oh yeah, that's really close. Interesting.
Well, that's gonna mess up bee space.
Yeah.
So we're gonna ask Scott about that one. We're gonna put them back together for now. It's all their stuff anyway. Then we're gonna ask Scott. And last but certainly not least,
Certainly.
I don't have my smoker to get that. Another whole thing of syrup. You can see what they did with this feeder. They built a bridge going all the way up in there. Built it with burr comb because it violates bee space. So it's like a twofer for them. But they're not putting anything in it, it's just burr comb. So we're gonna try to figure out how to get all these girls over in this box. These girls down. Now let's make up our inner cover. We have one, but we just need to cut a little open, an entrance, top entrance. That way the bees, when they're filling the honey super, they don't have to go all the way to the bottom, all the way up to fill that in. Because there's gonna be a queen excluder there and everything else. So they're not gonna wanna go through all that effort. They will, if they have to, but let's just make it a little easier and put a little entrance at the top. That way they can come right in, set it right in the top. So let's work on that. Okay, so the plan with the Italianas is we're gonna be adding a honey super. So there's some things that we need to know as beginner beekeepers when getting started. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take their syrup off. They're already done with it anyway, and so we're gonna put this in place of the syrup. All it is a little grate, and what it does is called a queen excluder. And what it does is it allows the worker bees who are a little bit smaller to go through these little slats and get at the honey supers up top, but it does not allow that queen to go through there. And the reason for that is because we don't want the queen going up through there and saying, oh, look at all this fresh comb, and start plopping eggs in there. So the only thing that's gonna be on the other side of the queen excluder is comb, bees, and honey. Exactly what we want. There may be a little bit of pollen in there, but that's not a big deal. So, and then after we put this on, then we have our first honey super. So the difference between the honey supers are these are more shallow. So a brood box is about that long. Honey supers are about half that. So, and what I've done in here is I've taken to kind of give them a little bit of a head start, because I don't know how much wax season there is left. I don't know how much time they're gonna have to build. So what I've done is I've intermingled all the frames with drawn comb that I got from the bee hall. If you want to see that video, it's gonna be a little eye. And then every other one is going to be fresh new foundation that's got a little wax on it. So that'll give them a little bit of a head start if they want to build these things out without having to try to build everything, because like I said, we don't know how much of the season's left for wax building. So in retrospect, queen excluder, box, lid, inner cover, and we're using this inner cover. I was gonna make one, but I'm just gonna use this one because it's already built. Now the reason we're gonna use this crappy old one is because it has a little notch already taken out of it. And the reason for that is so that when I set it down on top, they'll have an entrance through the top to go right to the honey supers. So because we are now gonna be 4 boxes high, most of those are gonna be brood boxes, they would have to go through the bottom entrance, go all through all 3, then the queen excluder, just to get to put the honey that they have in their honey bellies into that honey super. So if we put a little entrance at the top, they can come right in, right into the honey super and start filling that thing, and it's less stress on them. So let's get to building. When putting a queen excluder on the Hive, you always want to pay attention to the way it bends. So this one's brand new, but a lot of times over time they'll bend like a U. And so whatever way that bend is, you want to put that bend down. girls in. I'm gonna pile them all up. Come on, girls. Alright. So there we are. So there's our queen excluder, honey super. This is Beards and Bee history, people. Their very, very first time ever putting a honey super on. I didn't expect to have a honey super on this year, but they're doing so well, and they've already filled up 3 brood boxes worth of supplies. So we're gonna add our supers on. Then we're gonna position with the hole on the bottom. That way it's a direct line into that box. So now only the worker bees have access to this top box. So there's actually a little vent. The telescoping hood goes over, but there's actually a little way to get up in there. And so if I don't notice that they're doing that, I might end up just drilling a hole right into that honey super, like a 1-inch hole for them to go into, or a 3/8 inch hole. This is all that we have left for these girls today. We're gonna be doing obviously our weekly inspection next week at the same time, and then we'll be able to have a good idea of how much they're bringing in, how much they can build without that sugar syrup. So right now we know that they're safe because they have 3 brood boxes filled with syrup and brood and pollen and all that other stuff. So they're actually safe for the winter as of right now. But it'll be interesting to see how much they can actually bring in into this honey super. And keep in mind, this is going to be around the summer harvest. So there's still a fall harvest. So they could be bringing in this and some for the fall. So if they don't build out the new frames, I'm going to subsidize it with the already drawn comb that I already have. But I would like to see if they can draw some of their own comb in that meantime. So, okay, friends, until next time, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely check out our new shirts. They're pretty awesome. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. That's pretty much it. Sammy, do you have anything to say?
I don't.
Okay. All right, friends. Until next time, I'm Aaron. You're awesome. See you in the next video.
About the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above.
Looks exactly like when I put it in.
That's gross.